Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Insurance Questions Podcast. It is Wednesday, June 18th. I'm here with my buddy Donnie Lowe. I think we have an interesting topic that we're going to talk about today. But I want to start the show, Don, by talking about our sponsor. And the reason that I picked this sponsor today is because I destroyed its name on the podcast yesterday. And why don't you say the name of the people and then I'll read the commercial, Don.
Okay. The name is Skoni, Skoni, Skoni. Ed was saying Scrony for some reason. He thought he was in Massachusetts or something.
Spumoni, all that other good stuff, Don.
Spitelli. What was his name from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Spitelli?
No, Spicoli.
Spicoli. Anyway, it's Skoni.
Mr. Hand, you're a blank. So talk about these shoes, Don, and I'll read the commercial.
All right. So Skoni are they're spikeless golf shoes. And I do not have a pair. I have not tried them, but it sounds very interesting. And they look extremely comfortable. So if you're a golfer and you're in need for new shoes, which is crucial, it's crucial to have waterproof shoes.
Look at all these colors, man.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. Yeah, they look so comfortable too, and they're reasonably priced. They're very reasonably priced. About $99.99, so just under $100.
Are on your feet a lot for work or just plain in general, don't be cheap on your shoes. You owe it to yourself that you're not going to have issues. You know what I mean? That's the way I'm looking at it anyway, Don.
That's so true.
Let me read the commercial.
I think we yeah, please do.
Our friends are at Skoni.com, which is Skoni.com. Skoni spikeless golf shoes, the ultimate blend of style, comfort, and functionality. Perfect for on and off the course, redefining golf footwear and innovative design, exceptional performance, and all-day comfort. And because you are part of our podcast family, and you go to Skoni.com, you will get an additional 15% off by using the promo code Buffalo. So check out our friends at Skoni. And sorry, I screwed up your name yesterday, Skoni. So, all right, what we're going to do now is I got to say that all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. We're not live this morning, so Don's actually doing some skip-de-doo with his family. So we taped this yesterday morning right after our other show. So I don't know if we're sick of talking about each other lately, but we'll see how that happens at the end of the show. So we have a lot.
Before we get into that, just thank you for joining us. Please go to our YouTube channel, EBI Media Insurance Questions Podcast, where you'll have the ultimate experience of the podcast, where you can view videos, view different photos, Eddie's thumbnails that he creates on a daily basis. He even brought out the negotiation skill tool or negotiation tools yesterday. So he might do it again today. Who knows? But like, share with your friends, and subscribe. We are on 48 different podcast depositories. So wherever you listen to the podcast, or any podcast, we're most likely there. So like, share, and subscribe there. And we forget to mention this, we're also on Facebook. So look us up on Facebook, EBI Media, and you'll find our podcast there. Always, and TikTokers, we're live right before the show, during the show, and after the show. And you get that unique view because it's not the face, front. You get the side angle view. It's like you're standing stage right and you're looking at the stage. So it's pretty cool. But
I'm actually going to share with everybody at the end of the show our Facebook page, because we had a conversation this morning that I'm actually moderator for 11 Facebook pages. And,
that's crazy.
I always talk about we like automating everything in the insurance business and in the podcast world. And that is one thing I cannot automate. Don, it doesn't automatically post to all 11. So
Yeah.
I have to share, number one, all the videos, and then once again, all the audios once they come out. So I'm going to be watching that over the next week to see if we have anybody actually going. I mean, I might as well share it now, Don.
Yeah.
If anybody is actually engaging on it, because I know we get questions every once in a while. And one thing we don't talk about, Don, we're growing by leaps and bounds, and we are looking for agents, brokers, you name it. So if you know an agent or broker that has a good, clean record and just is not really that happy where they are, you can come and work for Eddie Buffalo Insurance. I'm not crazy about taking on anybody without a license, but if I think that you have the wherewithal that you would do well, I will invest the time into you to do that. But please, you can reach us at eddiebuffaloinsurance@gmail.com, or you can call us at 430-242-1006. We're actually very soon going to have a form for agents and brokers that they can apply to work for Eddie Buffalo Insurance right through that form. So that should be really good done.
Yeah, that's great. And just always know that we appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend it with us. I had to make sure I said that.
So how are you doing today, Don? What's going on with you today?
Oh, just busy. And, this is a great topic for today. I don't know the specifics because you didn't tell me. You didn't want to tell me based on a conversation you had with somebody.
This is right. This is right up your alley, and I know you're going to be all over it once we start talking about it.
Yeah. So with all the stuff going on in the world, the G7 going on right now, or it actually just ended. Israel and Iran.
I'm ready, Don. We got to negotiate. What are you saying?
We have to negotiate.
Who's next? Because I'm ready at all times to negotiate. Don.
We have to negotiate. But I think based on world events, the debt of our country, we're at what, almost $37 trillion in debt. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with the dollar, the American dollar. What's going to happen with traditional banking? Is it going to be something different in only a couple years? Because how long can this debt be sustained? So I don't know specifically what you're going to mention, but that's kind of the background on what's going on, and people are concerned. So
we talked, and I'm going to say her name because she said it was okay too, because she's all about if it's going to help somebody, if it's going to help her, it's going to help somebody else too.
Mm-hmm.
And she had two different questions for me, Don, and we sparred quite a bit back and forth.
Oh boy.
I'll send you the transcript. And her first question was, and like I said, it's right up your alley. Do you think we'll ever find out who Satoshi Nakamura is?
Ooh.
And I said, it's Donnie Lowe. She didn't think that was too funny. So she's a businesswoman in the New York City area, and she plays around with crypto and a bunch of other different things. And she said the reason she got into crypto is to pay less taxes. But now with the government getting their hands in everything, it is most definitely not what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an anonymous type of transaction where you're leaving a trail on all these things.
Yeah.
And we talked about the fees and the time going into actually moving money around. They're okay, you put money into it, but you try to get that money out, it's another story,
Yeah, that's very true.
So
I would say, are we going to ever find out who Satoshi Nakamoto is?
I think it was a bunch of people, to be honest with you. I don't think it was one man.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, people say it was I forgot the name of the guy that founded, that was one of the founders.
We both watched the same documentary, and he went into hiding after that documentary, the younger guy.
Yeah.
So nobody has seen him since the documentary came out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you her question. I'm going to let you respond to it.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna tell you what I actually told her.
Okay.
What Zoe from New York City wanted to know is what is the safest thing to invest in? It's kind of like what is the safest and best thing to invest in? And if she posed you that question, what would your response be, Don?
Well, as we tend to say fairly frequently, it depends. What's safe for one investor or one person is risky for another person.
Action shots, Don.
Okay. But so really it does depend. The metals, gold, especially gold, silver, titanium. A lot of people feel that those are very safe investments. And look what's happening to gold. It is starting to really skyrocket. And so the question is, well, is it too late to get into gold? No, I don't think so. And again, what scares a lot of people, and we're saying like the so-called money people that are in the know, is the debt that, they're looking at the debt, the fairly low interest rates, and they're just afraid that the government's going to have to print money to.
It's hard to say.
Pay our interest on the debts alone, So gold is probably something that's a little more safe. Investing in yourself, learning skills that you can offer to the market to get some compensation for. And I'm still going to say, if you take your money, reallocate it into maybe an annuity or into whole life insurance, I think, you're doing good by doing that. And, I don't know what your response was to the question, but that's kind of off the top of my head where I'm going with it.
Well, what I said to her is I used a Donnie saying. I said, it depends.
See?
It is not a one size fits all. I said, if you have good enough health, I would get a poop load of whole life insurance, because most products you're going to be getting back a guaranteed 6% every year on the monies that you put into that, Number two, I said I would think about an indexed fixed annuity where it does not have a basement, meaning if the market craps out, you're still going to get that guaranteed fixed amount. But if the market does better, you're going to get that too. So to me, it is the best of both your worlds. And I was showing her the return on one of our clients, one of our companies that we work with.
The carriers.
Their 12-month average was on it. And I think it was ranging anywhere between 11.25 to 12.39, which to me is fantastic.
It is. And I think, like you mentioned, with if you go with an indexed annuity as an example, when the market goes negative, you might hit the floor, but you're not going to go negative. So you're not going to lose your principal. And then it allows you to take advantage when the market is on an upswing. You can gain those gains. You can earn those gains without the risk of losing money. You might not make any gains in a particular year or half year, but you're not going to lose your principal, which is incredible.
So she did not like my answer, Don.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you could still lose money on an indexed annuity. And it just wasn't sinking into her. Why you can't lose money on it. And she likes, I want
if it's
more
built properly. If it's
I want more back on my money, was her other refrain. And I'm like, well, you are a different animal, and like it's not a one size fits all. If you want to be an aggressive investor, I'm not the guy to work with. You want to go to a guy that'll sell you a variable annuity. Yeah, you might get a better return on your money. But guess what else you might get? You might end up getting less than what you put into it. So to me, if you want to roll them dice, go for it. But I'm not going to do that because I want to make sure that whoever I work with, I'm going to treat them like family, and I'm going to try to make as much money with their money, with it being a safe investment, And then another thing she's doing that we talked about that is a big no-no is she is shorting Bitcoin. Do you remember what that is, Don?
Yeah, I mean, you can explain it better to me. I know, but she's just predicting that Bitcoin is going to fall again in price. Sure, there are going to be dips in anything.
Yeah,
anything that's traded.
You calling me a dip, Don? You calling me a dip? Is that what you're doing here?
No, Bison chip dip is the best.
You don't know what that is here in Texas.
Yeah, I know. You can't. You would think something with the name of Bison. And there's a lot of bison in Buffalo and Texas.
Bisonette.
Bay. But no, being serious here for a second, if there are dips in the market, and you have, say, a variable product, you're gonna take those hits. Unless it's built with a floor in there.
Yeah.
And yes, the upside can be good, but you have to you can't look at 1 week, 2 week, month, 3 month, even a year, what the average is. Try to think long term, because that's how you're going to make your money long term.
The only thing that I agreed that she was doing is she invests in gold futures too, which we talked. Gold, it's going to dip a tiny bit, but no.
Yeah,
I think that's a smart thing to do. The one thing that I didn't talk about, which I really would have liked to, is that a lot of the carriers we work with, you get to choose what you want to invest in on your annuity.
Right.
And the one thing that I think is still on the upswing, even though, here in Dallas, it's a little bit different, but I would also invest in real estate futures too, only because there are so many people coming to the state, but right now there's a ton of empty houses on the shelf, because the problem with area like this, experience such a ridiculous amount of people coming into this state. They're saying by the end of this decade, we are going to be the most populous state in the country, knocking down California, which I agree with, because there are so many people that are living in California because the prices are so crazy. They're able to sell their house, buy something here for cash, and still have money left over.
I know.
That's why the big extras is like, go to Texas, young man, instead of go west, young man, go to Texas.
That's true.
And I know somebody that when they were building their house, and this is going back 3 or 4 years ago, the purchase price on the house was $800,000. By the time they were done building the house, the estimated value of the house was $1.5 million. They weren't even done with the house, and it grew that much.
That's crazy.
And what's happening is we don't pay individual income tax here in Texas. A couple of states too, Florida and a couple more.
Tennessee, right?
But they nickel dime you on everything else. My electrical, and it's really weird because I live in a smaller town, so my electric, gas, and garbage is one bill.
That's interesting.
And it's funny because when I first moved here, there's a time, there's only one company you can go to. Okay, everything's cool. And then one day, I think I was telling you my hot water was gone. I'm like, oh crap, the hot water tank went. No, they never ever told me that you need to get a gas company. That's the only thing they don't provide you in the utilities. So I felt like a dope.
Whoops.
But hey, you don't know until you know.
That's right.
But I remember when I moved here from down the street, when my lease was up and I started looking for a bigger place, Greenville's a small place, about maybe 28,000 people, Don. In my general area, how many apartments do you think I had to pick from?
Probably not too many, right?
130.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that
Because
is.
as the population grows in the Dallas Metroplex, everybody keeps on moving out. And Greenville is a part of the Dallas Metroplex now. And like I said, when is construction on roads in Texas? Yes, all the time. All the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And what I was talking about, who I know that bought a home and it was worth so much more before it was even built, their taxes keep on going up.
Yeah.
So if you can afford the mortgage when you buy that home, that's great.
Yeah.
But you better have extra money set aside to take care of that increase in taxes.
It's interesting because in Florida, I think Governor DeSantis is trying to, he floated the idea, and I don't know if it's going to pass or not, but to eliminate the property tax for homeowners
Well,
in Florida. And the property taxes, based on my experience of living there for 1 year, they were not that bad, especially compared to New York. They were not bad at all.
There's one thing I'm leaving out about that story about the people I know that bought that house. A mile and a half away in 2026, Universal Studios is opening up their new theme park from them. So, okay, number one, your taxes are going to go up. And are you going to want to deal with that traffic
Yeah, I know.
every day?
Yeah.
Because that park's going to be open 365, and it's for younger kids too,
Might be time to think about selling and relocating.
Yeah, for somebody, especially we had Sharon on before, our real estate girl, and woman. Person, let's say person. But everybody's gonna be pissed off.
Real estate professional, name Sharon.
Yeah, there you go, Don. For a while there was an empty shelf where they didn't have enough houses for the people that were coming in. But there's been such a huge housing boom here that you got a lot of empty houses. And I got to be honest with you, Don, when you have the extreme weather that we do heat-wise, it's going to just wreck empty houses.
Yeah.
You got to wonder what happens. I mean, not just that, but I mean, all the storms we get. I mean, the hailstorms here terrify me.
Yeah,
because I might not see a tornado in my lifetime living in Texas, but I will definitely see hail. The biggest I've seen, though, is like maybe the size of a large pea.
Oh,
But
really?
just last month, they had a small town that got decimated because they were getting anywhere between softball, egg, or tennis ball size hail coming from the sky. I can't believe that. I mean, they actually, at dealerships, you'll see like awnings over a lot of the cars, but they can't cover every car. So if they have hail damage after, their insurance company comes in and pays them out, they actually have hail sales because in Texas, you can actually buy a car as is, unlike other states.
That's crazy. It's different than Hail Caesar, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't want nothing to do with this hail. So let's take a break. I think we beat up this subject enough for now.
Well, I think you said she had two questions, right? So we'll go to the next one, maybe, if you can remember.
Yeah, who's Tatashi? And then what's the best investment? So we got them both.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do I want to talk about now? Did I not save it? Done.
No.
I'm having a brain fire. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Harpoon, our buddies at Harpoon. And every time we look at their website, we find stuff that we want. Don't we, Don?
Yes.
What do you want to look at today? Let's see what their partner brands are today.
How about just the general apparel.
So at Harpoon Brewery, which is our friends at HARPOONBREWERY.com. It's actually shop.harpoonbrewery.com. They have a lot of cool stuff that I really like looking at. And I laugh. because they're still selling their St. Patrick's Day stuff this year. There's nothing there. There's like small shirts and a couple pint glasses. They sell out all the time, I guess.
The drinkware is pretty cool too.
We never really get the woman stuff done. So let's look at this for the ladies in our lives.
Yeah, sure.
Let's look here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like their stuff. It kind of, the hats look a little distressed. I kind of like the distressed look on it. And you can see they have ladies of every size. So I'm sure they will have your size no matter what you need to get. I just got to get an extra big hat because my head's always been large. So shop Harpoon Brewery, discover the freshest brewery apparel, unique glassware, and must-have souvenirs straight from Harpoon Brewery. And because you are a loyal member of our podcast family, if you go to Harpoon Brewery, holy crap, Don, they're going to get 25% off when they use the promo code Buffalo.
Nice.
So they got really cool stuff, whether you want it for yourself, your loved one, or you just like cool glasses. I mean, I got more glasses than I'll ever use in the world because if I see a cool one, I'm going to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
All right, Don, I think I like what we've been doing lately. I'm going to give the rest of the show over to you, and you talk about whatever you want in the insurance and annuity world. Go, Don.
Sure.
Let's see what time you got. Okay. Let me see. You have
About 7 minutes or so.
yeah, about more like 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess just getting back to it, if you've ever applied for life insurance and you talk with the representative about whole life, I'm going to talk about whole life insurance. So what is whole life insurance? It's a permanent life insurance policy that once you get whatever that premium is, the amount that you have to pay for that coverage, that premium will not change. Yeah, that price will not change for as long as you own the policy. And you can even you can pay it up in 20 years, 10 years, 60 years, whatever, fits your budget. But a lot of times when we sit down with a client, there's the guaranteed side of the cash value and the non-guaranteed side of the cash value. And the non-guaranteed side is when the insurance company pays dividends. You can have those dividends pay for more insurance, and therefore your insurance coverage will increase. And the cash value grows quicker. The guaranteed side, though, is it's a contract, and let's say you get a $100,000 whole life policy. Your death benefit coverage is $100,000, and there's a guaranteed rate of return that you receive on the cash value that grows. And the guaranteed side, when you look at an illustration, is always lower as far as the cash value growth than the non-guaranteed side. However, it is a contract with the insurance company, and it is guaranteed. So no matter what happens in the markets, no matter how bad it gets, it's a guaranteed contract between the insurance company and you, and at the very minimum, you will receive that guaranteed cash value or access to that guaranteed cash value amount, and you will still have the death benefit as a guarantee. So there's think of it, this is the base, the absolute least that I'll get, but it is guaranteed, and maybe we can earn more depending on what happens with the markets. So I just wanted to mention that.
Going back to our viewer's question, that's a big thing. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a safe person, or you want to run around with your hair on fire and hope that you're going to hit it big?
Yeah.
Go buy a lottery ticket, you might have a better chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. And like we've said, it is most definitely a not one size fits all thing when it comes to insurance or annuities.
Right.
So another thing I want to bring up, if you've had insurance through somebody for a bunch of years, it's okay to look elsewhere. If you're happy with your guy, that's great.
Mhm.
But there, unfortunately, in this industry, I see a lot is that people will get sold a product and you never see that person again.
Yeah.
So, do things change? Yes. Could there be a better product than what you have? I don't know. We don't know unless you talk to an agent. So whether you talk to me or Donnie or somebody else, if you haven't talked to somebody in a while about your finances, whether it be annuities or your insurance, or even your opinion on what you want to do with crypto. If you want to jump into crypto, you got to know your pain tolerance of how much you're willing to lose in case you do lose.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, me and Donnie are safe investors for our customers and our clients, because we don't want you to lose money. We want you to be safe. You work too damn hard for the money that you have, that you're going to have some clown tell you what to do, and they don't do nothing. I mean, here's a good litmus test for you if you want to do this. When you're dealing with an agent, ask him, what does he own? What does she own? Goes back to the whole thing we were taught many years ago. You got to lick the ice cream. You're not going to know about all the flavors unless you taste them.
That's right.
And if somebody's trying to sell you something and they don't, believe in the product enough that they don't own it themselves, what does that tell you?
Yeah, very true.
Everything I talk about, I own 100%. Probably too much. They say there's not too much. Well, when you got kids and grandkids, sometimes it is too much out of your pocket, but you gotta do it anyways.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think this was a good show, Don.
Yes.
Some questions. I'm glad we could help out Zoe in New York City. I think we need to send her a Eddie Buffalo mug.
That's a great idea.
After she watches this, she can give us her information and we'll send that out to her. She can choose 3 different colors now. We're up to, Don.
Oh, nice.
So we still have a couple of shows to do this week. We have a potluck with Donnie Lowe. We've kicked around a few things of what we're going to do on Thursday. It should be fun, because even if Donnie doesn't get a guest, I have something up my sleeve that I thought would be really cool to talk about.
Yeah, I that may be the route that we're going to take this week, because it's kind of, everybody's away for vacation, and last week is school or whatever, and it's
tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
So we're going to end the show like we end every other show. If you like working with people that are just like you, have the same values that you do, have the same passion for life and your family, and you love them as much as we love ours, we're definitely the people to talk to. You can reach us at eddiebuffaloinsurance@gmail.com. And what's the hotline, Don?
Hotline for our EBI Media number is 430-242-1006, 430-242-1006.
And for our friends in Transylvania,
ooh,
what is
Transylvania?
The number for them, Don? You gotta say it like
430-242-1006. Blah, blah.
We're out of here, and we look forward to seeing everybody again. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for doing a good job today, Don. The responses you gave me went a little bit different directions, but that's always good, because it's good to have 2 different options when you're talking about finances.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It says it is not one size fits all.
That's right.
It depends. So we're out of here, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central Time. So be safe, everyone. And once again, thank you for joining us. Take care.
Ciao, everybody. Ciao.